What's going on, everybody? It's Cody. Welcome back to the channel for the 4-game WNBA slate on Friday, 10K to first. Just want to take a second and say thank you to everybody who's been showing support on the channel. It's been awesome to see the growth over the first couple weeks of the season. I really appreciate everybody's kind words, everyone jumping in the Discord. I love interacting with new people every day. If you enjoy this content, please leave a like. I love seeing the likes climb every day. It's been awesome. I will not be here to post videos this weekend, so I won't have a video out for Saturday or Sunday. If you hop in the Discord, I will post notes for both those slates. I'll be in there to answer any questions or whatever, and then I'll be back for every day going forward on Tuesday, because I think Monday's a day off, but all that out of the way. Nobody cares about any of that. Let's look at my lineup for tonight. I am mega tilted, guys. I had it. I called everything except for Lexi Hull just sucking and not playing. Sides is the worst coach in the WNBA. I cannot stand that woman. I had the nuts. Just the stone nuts. I played Boston and Alyssa together. They both smashed, obviously. They played in the blowout. So did Caitlin Clark. For some random reason, she played 39 minutes practically the entire game. She sat like half a minute. Lexi Hull come in. I told everyone all day I was really high on Lexi Hull. I did not like Saxton because I thought they would leave Boston or Nalissa out there the entire game. Leave one of them out there and go small. They did. Lexi Hull was the first one off the bench. Sadly, she picked up 2 fouls in like 20 seconds, but they left her out there, which gave me hope that she was a big part of their game plan. Sadly, she missed 2 threes, did not look very good. Grace Berger come in, played better, and they went with her in the third quarter. Lexi Hull did not come back into the game. Mega tilting. Obviously, playing De'Erica Hamby, just an absolute lock every slate. Mabry is smashing my flag plant. I was really high on her. All the props I posted in Discord have hit. Actually, Hamby is pushing her rebounds right now. Nope, just hit. Never mind. Reaction live. So all the props hit, which is awesome. Another thing that tilts me is before I made the pivot to Lexi Hull, I had Hamby, Boston, Nalissa, and Mabry, and I pivoted off of Ari McDonald and Skylar Diggins-Smith and pivoted to Lexi Hull and Joel Lloyd. Currently, the McDonald and SDS line is winning the Queen of the Court seat, so that tilts me as well. Obviously, would love to min cash here. Just a rough line. I mean, it's really hard to min cash when you have a player put up 3 fantasy points, even if it's a cheap value play. It's tough, even if all your other players. I mean, it's a high scoring slate tonight. It just is what it is. It sucks, but nailed everything that I thought would happen except for Lexi Hull, and they got me. Oh well. Let's look at the lines. They don't have the Dallas-Connecticut game. I would imagine Connecticut's going to be probably 6 or 7 point favorites. They're a tough defense, so makes me like Dallas a little less. That's a really tough game on the road for them, even though they've been off for a few days. Aces at the Dream, 8-point spread, over under 170.5. Mystics Liberty, massive spread, 15.5, over under 162. Mercury Lynx, 7-point spread, over under 165.5. Really, obviously, this is the game everyone's going to target, Aces and Dream. It's going to be high paced. But let's start with the Aces side and let's break these teams down. Starting with at the top, Asia Wilson, 12.5. I mean, it's ridiculous what she's doing. She's the best player in the WNBA, and it's not even slightly close. What she's doing to start the season is ridiculous. She hasn't played over 32 minutes since the opener against Phoenix when she played 35. I don't even know. There's no words need to be said. 26.2 points per game, 13.2 rebounds. I mean, averaging 55 fantasy points. That's just ridiculous. Obviously, cash game staple. Can't go wrong playing her in tournaments. She's going to be popular 50-60% even on a 4-game slate. So nothing needs to be said. Jackie Young, 10-8. Price is steep, but she's running the point with Chelsea Gray out. She has big peripheral upside. I mean, lots and lots of peripherals. If the scoring is there, she can put up a 50 bomb. Perfectly fine playing her for tournaments. Kelsey Plum, I don't know if you guys saw the Darren Waller music video or whatever that was. Kelsey Plum is going to be out for blood tomorrow. And we got her and dream coach Tanisha Wright. They had their little spat last year. Off of just a brutal game. Shot 4 of 14. Her worst game of the season. Love her as a bounce back. 9,900 is a bit steep because she's pretty score independent, it seems. The assists have been there all year, but she's not going to get much else. But a great tournament play. Alicia Clark, 7,200. You know what you're getting out of her. She's going to shoot the 3 ball. She's going to grab some boards. She's out there for her defense. She's going to play around 30 minutes. Perfectly fine playing her at 7,200. Just know that she's not going to go out and put up like a 40 bomb, which, I mean, you don't have to have. If she goes out and gives you 20 to 30, that's perfect for what you're asking of her. Her ceiling is about that. Kia Stokes, 5,500. Her ceiling is going to be 26. Her floor is 5. I mean, you just have to know what you're getting out of her. She's going to play mid-20s minutes. Shot 0 of 6 last game. She's going to grab some boards. She has some block upside. She's fine at 5,500. Not someone I'm ever going to rush to play, though. Kate Money Martin. She's for real, guys. She can play. And I've talked the past 2 slates about bad value biting us. She's not really bad value anymore. I mean, she had this one game where she played 14 minutes and shot 0 of 4 and only put up 2 fantasy points. But the other 3, she has seen over 20 minutes and is shooting the ball well and is getting peripheral stats. That's all you could ever ask for out of a value play. She's going to be popular. I would imagine she's arguably the best value on the slate. Depending on news, we'll get to that here in just a minute. But love her as a good value play. She's coming off the bench first for them. She's seeing 20-plus minutes, 4,800 on a team that's as stacked as the Aces. She is never going to be targeted by the defense. She's always going to have open looks. If she hits her threes, she can get there just on her threes alone. Love her. Can't recommend Gustafson. She's just not playing enough minutes. Down to single digits. Just brutal. I don't know why they don't play her more. Colson Cannon, no thank you. On the Atlanta side, we are waiting on Alicia Gray news. She is questionable. Left thumb injury. That is her shooting hand. She's a lefty. Had a really good scoring game this last time out, but the peripheral stats have just not been there like they have in seasons past. She's a tournament play only if she plays, strictly because she's pretty well score independent. As you can see, 7 points in this game when I play her, 11 fantasy points. She's really tough to trust, but it's going to make her low owned and make her a great tournament play. Ryan Howard, she was brutal. This is the bad news with Ryan. I mean, 2 of 11, 0 of 6 from 3. I don't know. She picked up 4 steals, so I mean that helps. But this is pretty much her floor, 31 points, and she shot 2 of 11. So you know she's pretty safe even at 31. You hope she gets more than that because she's over 10K. But I mean she has 50-point upside. Always in play for tournaments. Tina Charles. The game she crashes the boards and gets a whole bunch of rebounds, she's really good. Crazy how that works. She's always going to be a quality scorer. I mean, she gets the usage on offense. She's one of the top scorers ever in the WNBA. Saw 35 minutes, which is really nice to see. this matchup, she's going to have to score if they're going to keep this game close. Don't mind her for tournaments. Parker, 7,800. The price is solid. She saw an uptick in minutes this last time out, played 29. I would expect her to have to play pretty good minutes if the game is close. Don't mind her at 7,800. This is where the news comes in. If Alicia Gray is out, I would expect Aerial Powers to start, and she would instantly become the best value on the slate by a lot because she is very active in shooting the ball. She puts up a lot of shots. She's a good scorer, and she's grabbing boards. She would instantly become the best value on the slate, arguably a must-play on a 4-game slate at her price, 4,900. We'll wait on news to make sure. I'm leaning towards Gray being out and Powers playing, which would just be huge. Haley Jones just can't. I love her to death, but she's not it. They need Jordan Canada. They need her running the point on this team. Nobody is afraid of Haley Jones shooting the ball. They're just not. They'll leave her wide open, and she won't. She can't make anything. Naz, I played her last slate. She bombed. Put up 3 fantasy points. Obviously has decent upside in her minutes if she's grabbing boards, if she's scoring. Obviously, when I play her, 0 rebounds. That's tilting, but oh well. It's a value play. You just got to know these girls are not starting for a reason. No interest in Coffey, Dangerfield, Amihir, or Kubaj. Moving on to the next game, we got Dallas and Connecticut. Starting on the Dallas side, Arike, 10-4. Shot 7 of 30 last game. 7 of 30. That is just wild usage. 5 rebounds, 5 assists. Always love to see the peripheral stats. If she's getting the peripheral stats, there is one person on this slate that has more upside than her, and that's Asia Wilson. But, I mean, if you're going to tell me Arike can put up 60 plus, she can rival Asia on this slate, especially shooting the ball 30 times. She's going to play practically the entire game. This was a back-to-back, and she saw 38 and 37 minutes. I would expect her to play 38 plus, maybe even the entire game. Wouldn't shock me if the game's close. It is a tough matchup, so we have to take that into consideration. But the usage alone keeps Arike in play and a target for tournaments. Absolutely. McCowan, 9,700. She's been good and bad on the season. Back-to-back decent games, nothing spectacular. 27 minutes, then 22 in the back-to-back. I would expect her to play close to 30 minutes. Assuming no foul trouble, which is always a concern with her. But she has slate-breaking upside anytime she is active and actually cares and wants to play hard. She can just dominate. That's just the type of player she is. Always in play for tournaments. Anytime she's under 10K, I always have interest. Mo continues to play massive minutes and continues to be a revelation. The past 3 games, 43, 38, 42 and a half. I mean, just incredible. I mean, she's drinking from the fountain of youth. 7,700 seems about right if she's going to play high 30s minutes. Her shots are close to the basket. They are easily convertible. I have no issues paying that price for her. I am interested to see if Jaylen Brown is back. We'll see if she is. I would imagine she re-enters the starting lineup over Maddie, but we'll see if she's out. Would mean I would like Maddie again at 6,900. She's seen over 30 minutes the past 2 games. She has scoring upside. She was a great scorer in college. She's shown it in a few games. All about the peripherals with her. If she's not scoring the ball and the peripherals are not there, they will pull her. As we saw in this game here when she started and played 19 minutes and only put up 6 real-life points and 2 boards. She got limited because she wasn't contributing when they needed her to. It's rough, but we should know before tip. I mean, both those 3 of the games tip off at the same time. So Jaylen Brown, I would imagine if she plays, she starts, but I would like whoever starts. Starters typically play big minutes for Dallas, but we know we've been burnt already this year by them on their rotations. Uzan is safe at 6K, had her best game of the year. If the peripheral stats are there for her, she's going to shoot a few times a game. If she makes some shots, she could put up a good fantasy number for 6K. Don't mind her for tournaments. Kalani, you can play her if you think Big T gets in foul trouble. For me, she's someone that I can never play unless Big T is out, just because her minutes are never secure. Of course, I play her when they start her over Big T, and she plays 7 minutes. Whew, that's rough. Suarez, 5,100, no interest for me at that price. She's just not getting enough minutes. Sheldon, minutes tick down a lot. It will depend if Uzan plays well. If Uzan plays well, they'll stick with her, not play Sheldon as much. If Uzan is struggling a little bit, you may see Sheldon get extended. I figure over the season, we'll see a little bit more Sheldon since she was their top 5 pick. I really like her outlook for the entire season. Right now, it's kind of grim. No interest in Lou. She's not worth playing, not getting any time. On the Connecticut side, obviously AT at the top. Massive blowout this last game. She played 24 minutes. The game before, she got ejected. So, if people box score watch, her ownership might be down a little bit. Coming off 31 fantasy points in 24, obviously she has huge triple-double upside. No issues for her, cash or tournaments. Bonner, 9,800. Always like her when she's under 10K for tournaments. She is a prolific scorer. She's going to put up around 20 real-life points a game. If she gets the peripheral stats, she can post a big number. Never an issue playing her when she's under 10K. Dejanay, love her to death. She shot 2 of 10. Still put up 22.5 fantasy points. 8,100 seems about right on the price for her. I think there's better plays value-wise, but I have no issues if you land on her as the last piece in. 10 rebounds, that's probably an outlier. She's going to get more like 4, 5, or 6. Perfectly fine as the last piece in, though. Bree Jones, 8K, only saw 18 minutes, but on the broadcast, they mentioned they were planning on ramping Bree Jones up over these next few games. Everyone knows I love me some Bree Jones. If she can stay out of foul trouble against Big T, she should play mid-20s minutes, and at 8K, her talent level is... 8K is too cheap. Harris, 6,400. You know what you're getting out of her. She is a pure tournament play. She is really scoring dependent. Just not someone I'm ever really interested to play unless it's a small slate or a showdown. Even then, I don't have much interest. Same with Jefferson, Banham, Mitchell. They're one of the teams that they're just going to play the hot hand or whoever the coach feels like playing. If Jefferson comes in and plays well, she might get extended. If Banham comes in and hits a couple threes, she might get extended. Mitchell was playing more minutes but wasn't doing much with those minutes, and they still stuck with her. I really can't recommend playing any of those three just because the minutes, you don't know who's going to see the most run. And with all the value busting these past couple days, you want to play safe value. Like, I would much rather play Kate Martin over any of those because you know she's going to get 20 minutes. Moving on, Washington, New York. Washington side, Sykes already ruled out. I'm not expecting her back for at least a couple weeks. Atkins had a really good shooting game last time out. Put up 21 real life points. 8 boards, 3 assists, 3 stocks. This is the Ariel Atkins that I want to see. 0 for 12 is not the Ariel Atkins I want to see. 8,600 is about right. The usage does go up with Sykes off the floor. If the shot's falling, she can get hot. She needs to see 1 or 2 go in, and then she gets the confidence to really let it rip. Don't mind her. Just worry about the blowout in this game. But the way you attack, the liberty is with your guards. Atkins has a great matchup. I just worry about the game being just not competitive whatsoever. Van Loo, 7,600. She's kind of fallen off the past couple games. Shot 1 of 6 this last time out. Really not for me. That price seems like it's about the ceiling for her, and I just can't pay that with everyone else on this slate, with it being a 4-game slate. She's fine if you land on her, but not someone I'm actively looking to play. Austin is probable to play. She saw 24 minutes. Minutes ticked up a little bit. As her minutes tick up, she's going to be too cheap. If she's 6,900 and going to play 26, 28 minutes, that is too cheap. She has solid upside because she has been shooting the ball a lot this season. They're running the offense through her quite a bit, which I love to see. I want to see her break out on the offensive end. She's always been a great defender. No issues if you think the minutes go up for her, playing her. She's going to pop a slate when she gets fully extended at her low price. Samuelson, just not for me. Like I said, these scoring-dependent shooters in the mid-range, I just can never get to them. She shot 1 of 7 from 3, 3 of 10 from the field. Saw 31 minutes, so the minutes are there. If that's your thing, just know if she shoots 1 of 10 and puts up like 5 real-life points, she's going to score single-digit fantasy points. Leah Edwards, I really can't recommend her. All these bigs here, Edwards, Dolson, Hines Allen, they're all about the same. They're just eating into each other's minutes. They're all about the same price, 63, 6, 56. I really can't recommend any of them. I mean, if I was to have to pick one, I would pick Edwards for the upside, but I don't think any of them are needed on this slate. Walker Kimbrough, 13 minutes, shot 0 of 4, put up single-digit fantasy points. Like I said, if she does not shoot the ball well, her floor is extremely low. If you think she comes out and shoots the ball well, she has big upside because they will extend her. So if you want to play her, be my guest. Like I said, she's never been for me. Melbourne, saw 12 minutes, didn't do anything with it. No interest in Richards or Ingsler. On the Liberty side, obviously Stewie at the top, 11-4, coming off a bad game. I mean, she's had 2 games under 30 fantasy points. Only took 10 shots here, played 37 minutes though. The game was close, so the minutes were there. She just didn't convert. And you have to live with that. As a player, you know how talented she is. That's not going to happen more times than not. I mean, more times than not, she's just going to explode in that environment against that team. I was really high on her, and she busted hard. Like this as a bounce-back spot for if you want to play her, fine. If you want to just pay up for Asia, I don't blame you. She's been just ridiculous. Sabrina, huge game, 43 fantasy points, 22 real-life points, 9 assists, 6 rebounds, 7 of 17 shooting, mid-30s minutes, perfectly fine for tournaments. She's always in play for tournaments because she has 50-point upside. She has triple-double upside when everything's rolling her way. Jonquel Jones, 9,600. I love JJ. I don't think she's going to be in foul trouble here. So great play for tournaments. She has big scoring upside, and she's grabbing the boards this season. I would expect her to play low 30s minutes, assuming no foul trouble or blowout. There's always a blowout risk with this game, 15.5 point spread, so keep that in mind. But it will keep the ownership down on these Liberty players too, because people will be worried about the blowout. Vandersloot, 26 minutes, shot 2 of 10, still put up 21 fantasy points. She's kind of revived from the dead. I mean, start the year, she just did not look good. I mean, this game she had 8 fantasy points. She started to come around a little bit. Not really for me. I just think there's better plays. I would much rather pay $8,100 for Dejanay Carrington. That's just me personally. Benaj Laney, $7,200, playing massive minutes. You just have to know she needs to hit her threes or score, because the peripheral stats, there's just too many. She's not going to get any assists because Sloot and Sabrina dominate that category. She's not going to get many rebounds because Stewie and JJ dominate that category. So she has to score, but she is all around. She's an all-around player. She's a great defender. They trust her guarding anyone on the floor. $7,300 is perfectly fine. I have no issues if you land on her as the last piece in. No interest in really anyone on the bench. Sabally, $4,900. Price is just too high, in my opinion. The only time she's going to get there is if JJ gets in foul trouble, and I just can't bank on that against this Washington lineup. Obviously, I mean, you see 19 minutes when JJ got in foul trouble. She will smash. If she gets the extra run, she will smash. She's not going to get it unless one of the starters get in foul trouble. Last game of the night, Phoenix and Minnesota. This game could be fun. Kalia Copper, 10K, shot 7 of 19. She hasn't looked great since the Dallas game when she shot 11 of 22. In my opinion, 0 for 10 from 3-point the past 2 games. Still put up 20 points, 9 boards, 2 assists. She's grabbing more boards these past 2 games with Rebecca Allen out. She's playing more. They're playing more zone, and she's playing more down low. So her rebound upside is there because Rebecca Allen is still out. Don't mind her at 10K. I think this game is going to be under-owned, and I always love targeting Minnesota because they play fast. They don't care about defense. When they do play defense, they play defense, and it's really just block and steal upside, but their scores always get crazy. Cloud, 9,300, perfectly fine playing her. Obviously, this game here, massive blowout, can't really take that into account. She's been mid-30s fantasy points every game here lately. In the last 2 games, she has not pitched in anything in the peripheral stats, and she's been dominating there in the games before that. The 3 games before that, she was an assist machine. I expect those assist numbers to come back up. Love the spot for her here. DT, 22 fantasy points. She shot 4 of 10. Grabbed 4 boards. That's what DT does. If you think she hits all her shots, play her. If you don't play her. That's high-level knowledge from someone that's played WNBA DFS for years. DT's been this way for years. It's just what she is now. Natasha Mack, back down to her 22 minutes. 13.5 fantasy points. The Shaq dreams of prime Shaq here in these first couple games in 20 minutes are over. The Natasha Mack experiment is dead. I can't pay $7,700 for her. Sophie, oh, this is another one that tilts me. She saw 30 minutes again. I fully expected her to see 30 minutes. She had like 17 fantasy points at halftime and then just didn't do anything in the second half. Missed a couple threes, did not grab one single stat. Really baffling. Don't mind her at 7,500. She's going to play around 30 minutes. I would expect to see Sug Sutton play around 20 minutes. She put up a good fantasy game. 18.25 fantasy points with 0 points. She was there for the assists, the boards, the steals. I really don't mind her for value. She's going to play around 20 minutes, low 20s minutes with Rebecca Allen out. They are extremely thin on guards, and with her out there, they want to play small more often than not. So she's going to get the most run off the bench. Liz Dixon saw her minutes decrease because, like I just said, they want to play small when they can. No real interest playing her. Herbert Harrigan only saw 1 rotation, not anyone I'm interested in. Birch did see 13 minutes. She was rough when she was out there. She did get 2 boards, 2 assists, shot 1 of 3 from 3, but the 6 field goal attempts in 13 minutes. You like to see that. She's not shot the ball well at all for the entire season, but she's still taking shots, and that's something that you love to see for someone that's practically free. I have some interest in her. Obviously, there's better value plays, but depending on how risky you want to get, I don't mind her. She should see 10 to 14 minutes tomorrow night. On the Minnesota side, Fee, 10-9. She had like 18 fantasy points in like the first 5 minutes of the game and really cooled off after that. Shot 6 of 16, played 34 minutes. Big scoring upside, been grabbing a lot of rebounds, got stock upside. great play, in my opinion. One of the best plays on the slate. She always is. She's been crushing it this year, playing really well, playing very aggressive on offense, and I love to see that. One of the top spin-ups on the slate. Lana Smith, 31 minutes. I would expect this to be kind of her average. 28 to 31 is what I'm expecting going forward, assuming no foul trouble, and she does have foul concerns, like I always say. Shot wasn't falling. She's going to get a couple stocks. She's going to grab some boards. She has some assist upside. Not a lot, but she will get you some peripheral stats. 9,400 is a bit steep for me, but she's a fine contrarian tournament play. McBride, 8,700. She grabbed some peripheral stats, but shot 3 of 11. You just have to know that when you're playing her, she's a lot like DT. If the shot's falling, she can put up a good fantasy night. If it's not, she has potential to not put up a good night, because there's nights where she just does not get any peripheral stats, and she will kill you if she does not score. Courtney Williams, love her game, love the peripheral stats. It's just as consistent can be. She's right up there with AT and Caitlin Clark as some of the most consistent at getting their peripheral stats every game. If she scores in double figures, I always say it, she has big upside. I think her upside is closer to 40, maybe even a little more. 8,600 is a good price for her. I really like the matchup here. You attack Phoenix pretty much everywhere. Phoenix barely plays any defense whatsoever. So, love the matchup there for her. Carrollton, 6,200. Really bad this last game. She's going to play over 20 minutes just because they don't really have many other bodies. But if she's not hitting her threes, it's rough. I can't pay that price for her personally, but if you want to, go ahead. Heidemann had her first real stinker of the season. Only saw 8 minutes. She did not play well. This is concerning because this tells me if she comes in and does not play well, they'll pull her and won't go back to her. So she's not a safe value anymore as she was. Her minutes were secure. They are not anymore. Dorka, 5,200, 17, 17, 15. I would expect her to play 15 to 18 minutes. She's their only big off the bench. If Alana was to get in foul trouble, Dorka would get extended. Hasn't been asked to do a lot. She's never been asked to do much on offense. So you're mainly just trying to get the block and steal upside or grab some boards. She can easily pay off 5,200, even if she plays 17 minutes, in my opinion. I can never say this girl's name. I'm going to call her Zand. She saw an uptick in minutes. She shot 4 of 6 from 3. She has very, very little peripheral upside. As in none. Like almost 0. 0, 0 here, 2, 0 here. But if she's going to hit her threes, she's going to get extended. That's where almost all of her points come from. I mean, so she got 14 of her 18 fantasy points from 3 points. So it is what it is, 3,300. I would honestly prefer Birch to her because Birch's minutes are safe, in my opinion, whereas Zan's are not. I think she could really come out here, play 12 minutes, shoot 0 of 3, and be done. Or 9 minutes and only take 1 shot. Is what it is. If you find a line that you want to jam in a bunch of studs and you land on her, be my guest. I would play Birch over her, but that's just me. Both are gross. You're probably better off just not playing either of them and playing some of the better value in the 4K range. But I don't have a flag plant right now. There's a lot of stuff that I'm still waiting to see. I will have one tomorrow, and I will post it in the Discord along with core plays, and I'll be sitting in there talking all day. If you guys want to hop in, say hi, what's up, whatever. But that's going to do it for me. I will see you guys on Monday night to break down the Tuesday slate. Leave a like on the video, and we'll see you guys for the next one.